Uh, Good morning, lovely learners. Welcome to our daily newspaper session. So let's bring our morning with learning positive and together. So now I will start. So today the first participant, Amber and me. I will read the article um, for uh, Amber. I will read the first paragraph of uh, mm, Parliament and the elected government. Okay, and you can
Okay.
2008. Now you understand?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now I will start. The turmoil in Kathmandu, the road ahead for Nepal. The generation that protects that reputed in Kathmandu on September 8, 2025, snow vaulted rapidly, taking the Nepal government by surprise to ex- excessive policy reaction led to an explosion of public anger and a rapidly evolving situation forced Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to quit the following day, creating a vacuum that even the generation that protectors were unparaded for. Following talks between the generation that uh, representatives and Chief of Army Staff General A.R. Singhal, former Chief Justice Chief Army Staff General A.R. Singhal, former Chief Justice Susila Karki was sworn in as a interim Prime Minister on September 12 with the mandate to conduct fresh election. Within 6 months, the parliament was dissolved and a political combination of experts is taking safe and claim as a retaliation to the state's election have been fixed for March 5, 2026. But question persist. How will Generation Z organize itself around a political platform? Will the established political parties be ready? Meanwhile, Mayville suggested our approach for amending the constitution, but this may open a wondrous box in the absence of process legitimacy. A turbulent passes in India's neighborhood. The decade of the 2020s has witnessed political change in India's neighborhood. In February 2021, the experiment with democracy in Myanmar passage as the military assumed full control later in 2021. The Taliban returned to Kabul as the US withdrew from Afghanistan in May 2022. The Aragala movement in Sri Lanka, country in Pakistan in May 2023, the arrest of Prime Minister Imran Khan led to widespread protests, but the military took charge of the situation, and in August 2024, protests in Bangladesh gathered momentum, forcing Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to quit and leave Dhaka. It's hardly surprising that analysts would look for partners pat, part, partners that can fit their models or conspiracy theories. However, each of these chains has its own history. Sheikh Hasina had been in power since 2009, and the election in January 2024 had been disputed even as the cracked down on the opposition. In Sri Lanka, the Rajapaksa's family had been ruling since 2004 with the short interregnum. Myanmar and Pakistan have had long spells of military rule. The military has remained in the driver's seat openly as a Myanmar or behind the scenes as in Pakistan, Afghanistan, following the familiar pattern of failed interventions by the United States. Since Vietnam in the 1960s and in 2021 when it had become oppressive, that continued US presence in Afghanistan would not help matters. If there are similarities, there are primarily the dominated role played by the youth in the protest and the higher levels of youth unemployment approach to the total unemployment in this uh, society. Society will overall unemployment level in Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka are between 4% 5%. If unemployment is about 16%, and in Nepal above 20%. So politically, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh have had political stability given the tenures of the Rajapaksa Rogers had Sheikh Hasina respectively, but this led to nepotism, corruption, and increasing disdain for democratic accountability. Nepal's political transaction in contract, Nepal's political trajectory has been different with frequent government change since 2015 when the constitution was adopted. There were 7 government but with the same leaders playing musical chairs. UML leaders only their threes and both Maoistic leaders Prachanda and NC leader Sir Bahadur Deva, each twist created a crucial internal stability where continuism, nepotism, and corruption followed within the outward instability that prevent job growth and economic development. Nepal's political transition began 35 years ago. The 99th January Andolan replaces Panchayati Raj with multi-party democracy and Krishimikravich the mandatory to as a constitutional role. However, intra-party rebels provided a practical ground for the Mantorists to play favorite domestic in surgery. Shifted in 1996 and over a decade, gradually engaged full largest party of the country, claiming 17,000 lives. It looks 20 years before the political parties come together to work out a peace process that permitted the Moises to come overground and emerge as a political party. During this period, there were 15 changes of government and one spell of the direct rule by King Gendra that sparked the second Jan Andolan in 2006, forcing him to restore parliament and the elected government. So yeah, Amber, you can start.
Okay, yeah. In 2028, na, I think, Siddhi.
Yeah, Maria, you. Yeah.
Okay. In 2008, an elected constituent assembly declared Nepal to be a republic, ending the 240 years old uh, monarchy, and began drafting a constitution for a federal republic instead of the given 2-year deadline. The constitution was promo- promulgated, promulgated after 7 years in 2015. More time was spent on government formation, and these 7 years witnessed six prime ministers, uh, ma- mayors, 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 leaders served twice, UML leaders twice, the NC once, and interim government was created under Chief Justice Khil Raj Razmi for electing a second const- constituent constituent assembly in 2013. The Jan Andolan in 1990 and 2006 were spearheaded by political parties to wrest political power from the monarchy, but the 2025 protest reflect a broader frustration with political leaders of all political parties for misusing coalition politics to amass personal wealth. President Ramchandra Paudel has retired that he will observe the constitution and has sought to justify concern about the appointment of an interim prime minister by citing Article 61 merely direct the president to promote the national unity and to abide by and protect the constitution. Since a state of national emergency was not declared, Jan Sigtal played a political role in identifying and holding constitution with the Janjad representatives. The army also moved targeted leaders and ministers into military cantonments, cantonments for their security. Clearly, Mr. Paudel depended on the army because it is the only institution that enjoys social respect. Mr. Kirky has Miss, Mrs. Kirky has identified three uh, priorities for the interim government to ensure election on March 5, 5th March, to fix accountability for the use of excessive force by the police and the arson and vandalism, and to expose and pros, prosecute corruption in high political office. The second and third will be difficult as there are reports of politically uh, affiliated gangs infiltrating the Gen Z protest and fast-track prosecution. In Nepal, justice system are ahead of. There is a growing sentiment that the 2015
Okay,
constitution
Amber,
that
wait.
into.
Amber, wait.
Mhm,
Uh,
yes.
sorry for everyone. Today I made a little mistake. I had already had my name on the website 627, but before checking not proper directly, I started reading because I thought I was first. So I hope you all don't mind. This sorry for my mistake.
It's okay, Siddhi. It's okay, Siddhi. Totally, it's okay. Okay, let her complete first.
Yeah,
Okay, Amber,
Amber, you
you
can.
can start.
Okay, thank you so much. The second and third will be difficult as there are reports of politically affiliated gangs infiltrating the Gen Z protest and fast-track prosecution in Nepal's justice system are unheard of. There is a growing sentiment that the 2015 constitution had that introduced a 275-member House of Representatives with first past the post and proportional representation somehow prevent the emergence of a majority government. Other ideas doing the rounds are to introduce a directly elected executive and do away with federalism by empowering local bodies, pushing such ideas through a constitutional commission and national uh, refer- ref- referendums. Referendums could create more difficulties. Any dilution of federalism or proportional representation system is bound to spark protest among the Madhesis जन जनजाति हाँ जनजाति and through communities. This moves into uncharted political territory and questionable legitimacy, uh, legi- legitimacy run contrary to Mr. Paul, Powell's Powell's assurance of abiding by the Constitution and may jeopardize the election schedules. Stabilized political parties needs time for an internal leadership churn that the old timers will rest, resist. New political forces led by youth leaders will emerge, and it is likely that some pro-monarchy element may also sense an opportunity to recover lost ground. Focus should be on fair elections. Fortunately, India has escaped criticism in Nepal's media in connection with the political turmoil. The restrained official statement and the phone call by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on September 18th to congratulate Mr. Kaki, convey uh, a condolence over the loss of life and assert, assert full support to Nepal keeps communication channels open. Peaceful, free and fair elections on 15th of March would be the best way forward for Nepal. Any her ambition ambitious moves by wasted interest would only increase uncertainties, generating mistrust, and insecurity, in which the political grains of the last 2 decades towards a more democratic and inclusive Nepal would be at risk. Yeah, I have done.
Siddhi, Amber, is Siddhi
Yeah,
here? Okay,
yeah.
so before your explanation part, can I tell you some mistakes because I have to go or I will join after 8:15. So can I?
Ruvani, please chat through.
No, no. Like when you
Okay,
read, you have some mistakes.
okay, okay, okay,
So
Ruvani.
yes, yes. Am I audible to you both, Amber and Siddhi?
But wait, I will summarize then.
Hmm.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Before
Amber?
summarizing,
Yeah,
before
Amber?
summarizing, Amber,
Amber?
Siddhi.
Yeah, continue, Gurbani, continue.
Actually, I have to go right now, but uh, so okay, okay. Let me, Siddhi, first your turn, okay? Then you can summarize your para because I have to go after telling your mistakes, okay? Is it okay? Siddhi?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so there is some mistakes. Like you ask Sheikh Hasina, okay? You pronounce it wrong. So please focus on it. Keep it with Sheikh. And what you called Pakistan. It is not Pakistan, it is Pakistan. So go with A sound. Okay? And you again pronounce neighborhood. Can you pronounce neighborhood?
Uh,
Siddhi? Pronounce neighborhood.
neighborhood.
Yes,
Neighborhood.
yes, because neighborhood. You go with always G sound in neighborhood. Don't know why, but keep it mind, okay? And it is suggestions. Again, you are hurry and you get wrong pronunciation. You go with ed sound, so go with suggestions, okay? And you pronounce wrong pattern. And one another thing, Siddhi, for you. If there is word, similar word, they, these, there, then why you always go with there? Okay, keep focus on word like what is the word, these, that, or there. Then pronounce. Their sound is Their, and you pronounce it like these, they. So keep focus on it. Or there is one another pronunciation mistake, Myanmar. Okay, you pronounce it wrong. And yep, for today it is. And Amber, are you there?
Hmm, yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay, so you pronounced monarchy. It is not monarchy, my dear. Pronounce it monarchy. Okay?
Okay, got it. Monarchy.
And yes, monarchy. And second is
Monarchy.
my yes, and second is Maoist.
Mayo is
Yes. And one another is I write, but I forgot where I write. Okay. Interim. Okay. And assurance. Mm,
assurance.
assurance. And I found Amber that you read well, okay? But don't
Okay.
go with same tone because you consume more time. or as you know there is more participant. If you take
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes in one article, then how will they get chance? Then please do mistake, but speed. Okay, go with
Mm-hmm.
speed.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, and don't go with pauses. You take lots of pauses, lots of like, and don't pronounce it like if there is a word accountability and you are not able to pronounce it, then take a pause, okay, and pronounce it accountability. Don't go with this tone. This is really, really bad. Accountability. You pronounce it that, so don't do it, okay?
Okay,
Yeah, there is some other mistake, but today's it's fine because it's already 26 minutes. So you can summarize it, and I will join 8:15 Siddhi, okay? Then I will host.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone would like to some point from this article? Okay, so now I will move the next participant. Next is Sikha ma'am. Hello, Sikha ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Which article you want to read?
Yeah. Okay. The article number 1. I am
Wait, ma'am,
reading.
I will say.
Okay. Cannot completely ban, need balanced approach on firecrackers, says SC. It warns that a total ban could lead to mafia control. CGI stresses need for a policy that protects both the right to livelihood of workers in firecrackers industry and the right to clean environment. The Supreme Court on Friday said a complete ban on firecrackers would open the field for the mafia to capture the industry and illegally peddle their wares to gullible public. A bench headed by the Chief Justice India CGI B.R. Gavai refers to how a total ban on mining in Bihar had led to the mafia moving in virtual turnaround. As we experienced in the past, a complete ban cannot be completed, the CGI observed on the futility of trying to exert an iron-handed and tota- totalitarian, totalitarian approach on the firecracker industry that employs thousands of workers. The top court, in a virtual turnaround, called for a balanced approach, a policy that would ensure that the right to earn a livelihood in the firecrackers industry would coexist with the right to a clean environment without suffering from the after effects of air pollution. The bench directed the Environment Ministry to find a solution that would weigh in all the consideration. The court has been asked to hear out all the stakeholders, including firecrackers, manufacturers, and sellers, provide undertaking. Meanwhile, the court allowed manufacturers certified by the National Environment Engineering Research Institute and the Petroleum and Explosive Safety Organization to produce green cracker to continue operation. The court directed these manufacturers to provide an undertaking that they would not sell their product in prohibited areas until further ordered. In the previous hearing on September 12, the CJI has mooted the need to frame and implement an uniform policy for the manufacturer, sell, and use of firecrackers in the country. If firecrackers have to be banned, it has to be done for the entire country. Also, the poor who are dependent on the industry have to be looked into. The CGI had observed the top court had confirmed an pervasive permanent ban on firecrackers in Delhi and the National Capital Region in April this year. This about the article, and I am going to summarize it. That is it is also Supreme Court that is it going to a solution. It is completely banned. It should be banned. That is the thing in against it. That is Supreme Court also uh, took the matter for the solution. That is, it is not possible. It is not. It is not the solution to ban firecrackers. That is all. This is the verdict of Supreme Court. They also consider that it is also to be balanced, and this is also there is some restrictions also there, and that is useful. And this is used for the pollution to reduce pollution in our environment, and but it has a after effect for this operation. So it has to be thinking of that. That is prohibited. That is some prohibited and that is region. This should be restricted, and also that is they have a undertaking, that is before using it, that is all the necessary arrangement have to be done that area, and for this reason it is also good for thing. And also the SC court also, CGI also observed that is the many people who are living in village area who are doing job here. For this reason, if it banned, then all these will be jobless. So that is the most important thing for the judgment. And the top court also confirmed all things, all pervasive permanently, and that is also that is not to ban on firecrackers in Delhi also, and they also have no power to sell it to others, and there are so many companies, that is manufacturer companies are there. That is our National Environment and Engineering Research Institute and the Petroleum and Explosive Safety Organization. They are producing green crackers to continue operation. And this is the thing in our Kolkata. So there is also is used, and for this reason there is a great problem afterwards. And 10 people are also that is they also dead after it, and many houses is under 2-3 days underwater. Kolkata will underwater, and this is due to the firecrackers and also operation. And it is also that is Kolkata. We are not allowed. That is Kolkata. The state government was not aware about it. For this reason, this court order is very useful for the sake of India, that is pollution, and as well as the for previous notification and undertaking, that is also good.
Uh, so first of all, thank you so much, Sia ma'am, for taking part. That was a great reading, and yeah, also summarizes a good. So thank you. Anyone would like to some point from this article? I think no one's. So okay, so let's. I will move the next participant. So next is Isas. Hello, Isas.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also. Well,
Okay, so which article you want to read? I think three.
yeah, I'm going to read article number 3.
Yeah, sir, you can start.
Mm, So first of all, good morning everyone. I hope you are doing well. So I'm going to read article number 3. Bloody Sundays. Cricket is sitting overshadowed by India-Pakistan political rivalry. Three successive Sundays featuring matches involving India and Pakistan are broadcaster. Wait a moment, my screen is hanging. Okay, sorry for that. Broadcasters windfall dream. This rare cricketing high will be played out when the subs when the subcontinental rivals clash in the Asia Cup final at Dubai this Sunday. Interestingly, since its independent inception from 1984, the continental tournament never featured an Indian-Pakistan summit clash. However, the latest preload remains dull as the contrast over the last two weekends lagged sporting thrills, even if the political tension almost bordered on the war means the shooting troops. Surya Kumar Yadav means overwhelmingly dominated the justice, yet demanded their glory as they are reminded. Kailash and refused the customary handshake with the opposition, a tradition intent with the willow game and other sports. The Palgam terror strike and the resultant Operation Sindoor are part of the backdrop. But if India felt strongly about the playing against its western neighborhood, then the protest could have been registered by refusing to turn up for this particular game. But walking into the park, playing the match, and still refusing to respect the game be behavioral protocols do not reflect well on the Indian unit. That there is no ex- accepting the nationalism bandwagon and the ensuing domestic pressure was evident in the manner in which some of the Pakistani players gesticulated. Pakistani stars Afzada Farhan and Haris Rauf are in the dock with the former using his bat like a gun and other leader hitting at the finger plants being shot down. Meanwhile, Surya Kumar's reference to Palgam also came under the scanner. In all this high strong the period of anger, India still proved its superior mettle against the all rivals, a skill advantage that was retrained twice against Pakistan. Opener Abhishek Sharma has been at his riveting best, and his scalding form has forced the opposition bowler to constantly alter their tactics. His Punjab mate Subman Gill has also flourished against the men from across the Wagah border among the bowlers, even if a spearhead Jasprit Bumrah drawn attention. Spinner Kuldeep Yadav has been in his elements on the dry, abrasive surface under the West Asian Sikhs. The deep inequality of Indo-Pak's tussles is a contrast to the 1980 and 1990 when the games were contested on an even keel for Indian fans of a certain vintage. Javed Mianda last ball 6 of Chetan Sharma remind the breach that never heals, and the current Asia Cup has revealed how far India has progressed, while Pakistan and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka have stunted. This Sunday, defending champion India will step in the favorite unless Shine Afridi and his fellow pacer spin and ambitious. So I'm done with my article. Now I'm going to summarize. So this article is all about related to India and Pakistan. We know very well, like in my both country uh, came in attack. Like in, India started Operation Sindoor because Pakistan did Palgam attacks. So nowadays Asia Cup is going on, and India and Pakistan go have gone into the final. They will be playing in on Sunday. So this article is all about related to the blood Sunday. Why? Because when the Asia Cup was going to start, so every most of the Indian civilian Indian people, they were boycotting Asia Cup because they didn't want to play with Pakistan because mm, Pakistan Pakistan attacked India. So these all are things. So that's why India's people were very upset. But unfortunately, Indian government allowed India to play with Pakistan in every international game like World Cup, Asia Cup, whatever multi-tournament. They will definitely play with Pakistan. So that's why some most of the Indian people are upset with the government. Why you are playing with our blood? Because they killed 25 people in Pahalgam attack, and we are playing with the country who are indirectly involved in this attack. So that's why people are very upset. I hear mention about that like the controversy between both country India and Pakistan players. So where the Pakistan superstar Sabzada Farhan and Sabzada Farhan, when he completed his 50 against India, they start celebration like a gun with his bats. And other player like Haris Rauf was showing his finger like a fighter jet is being shoot down. So this all the gesture was against the Indian sentiment. So that's why mm, someone Indian cricket board case case filed against him. Even Surya Kumar Yadav, when India won first game against Pakistan, the Surya Kumar Yadav was said, we are dedicating this game to the Palgam attack. So that was also a political thing. So where ICC they called to Surya Kumar to don't you cannot do this kind of stuff because we are playing a sports. In a sport, the political thing you cannot involve. So this is the thing was happening in the first game between India and Pakistan. I have mentioned about that the advantage. When we talk about the advantage, India is a very strong team where Abhishek Sharma had mentioned about that. They he is playing well and with the consistency and other player as well like Shubman Gill and Jasprit Bumrah, one of the best bowler all over the world. And here mentioned about it like in 90, 80 like when we go in 90 decades, so where Pakistan was very a strong team compared to India. So Javed Miandar they hit again. The Chetan Sharma was one of the best inning by Javed Miandar. So that was very amazing match here mentioned. So and when we talk about the Pakistani side here mentioned about that like Shaheen Shah Afridi, he was he is bowling and he is bowling very well. And one thing I forget to mention like Asia Cup has been going on since 1984. So this is the first time where India and Pakistan will be playing final. It was never happened in the past. Sometime India goes into the final, so then Pakistan uh, it didn't go. Sometime Pakistan go into the final, then India don't. So so this is the first time in the history of 84 years after 72 year old where both country, both rivals, India and Pakistan, go into the final and they will be playing in this Sunday. So yeah, this is all from my side. Um,
And results.
yeah, ma'am.
Uh, okay. Sorry for very noises from my side. Thank you, Izaz, for taking part. That was a great reading, and yeah, summarize is also good. So thank you so much. So yeah, anyone at some point from this article? Okay, so now I will move the next. Next is Sunny, are you there? Yes, Sunny, are you there? Please confirm me.
Yes. Good morning. Sorry.
Good morning, sir. Which article you want to read? Please confirm
I
me.
want to read article number 2.
Yeah, you carry on.
Okay. Great. Good morning, all of you. I am reading article number 2. Upgrading shipyards. Incentives for shipbuilding must include long-term off-take possibilities. The recently announced package of 69,725 crore to revitalize India's shipbuildings and maritime ecosystem is to replace the package of 2015, which is set to expire in March 2026. In the last 10 years, while lucrative defense orders had kept some shipyards busy, only half a dozen small merchant ships or so were built in all of India. India's capacity to build large merchant ships remains minuscule, which the package hopes to extend to 4.5 million gross tons. The plan is to upgrade shipyards for cutting-edge technologies and management principles, promote new yards in clusters, housing facilities, factories for shipbuildings, ancillaries, and supports ship owners for financing new builds. What key questions remains over how this package will succeed, as the earlier one was largely a future. Globally, shipbuilding has been honed into a fine art. In Korean, Japanese, or even Chinese yards, component blocks of large merchant ships are prefabricated outside the actual dry dock and moved to the dry dock using cranes of say 1,000 tons, where they are welded together. The yards are long enough to be assembly lines. In the past, the metric was keel laying to waterborne. Today, that takes just 3 to 4 months. It takes just about a year from the process of first steel to sea trials for a large merchant ship. Warning and expansion or two Indian yards are neither long enough nor have the crane capacity and space and capacity to do the prefabs. Ancillaries are another batnacks. A turnaround of about 2 to 3 years is the norm in India, or 2 more years of capacity sunk without returns. This is a key reasons for Indian ship owners not ordering new ship builds, even if the subsides in previous policy addressed the issues of high complex shipyard. Upgrading should address this issues. China, for instance, has thought through shipbuilding is full and set up institutions to train manpower. At this point, India will need to start small, such as ship of 500 gross ton and above. The bottleneck is that while turning ship new builds as infrastructure has brought down, the cost of finance through lower interest rates and extended repayment schedules. This applies only to large vessels. Initiatives to promote shipbuilding will need to include long-term off-take possibilities. Indian ship owners do not see long-term demands visuality for them to invest in buildings in Indian yards with cost overruns from delays. For instance, India's green fuel protection policy has been seen project to make and export green fuels through Kakinada and Kochi, what without leverage them to build green ship and do to off-take as well. Long-term shipping contrast and time characters for importing coal from state-owned power utilized and imported crude from oil companies will spur shipbuilding. So I have completed my reading parts. I tried to summarize. These articles all about the upgrading shipyards, and as we know very well, the government has announced the package for the shipyards and the we can say reform the shipyards. So that's package is 69,725 crores, and earlier it's before the 10 years 2015 governments also give some package, but now 2015 now again that package will take the place of 2016. So but the shipyards owners, they are not interested to making new shipyards ship, because in the ship buildings we have no this type of instruments. There is the long process. When we want to build a ship on there, we need to the dry docks, we need to the cranes, and it is the long process. And also we have no this type of instruments where we can do easily. But other side, we can see the Korean, Japan's, China's, they have to this type of instruments, they have to cranes, they have to dry docks, they have to good quality of steels, they can make very easily, and they can get the profits also, and they can exports also in ships. But other side in India have the bad conditions, and they have no good cranes, they have no this type of instruments where they can make a good quality of ship. So that's why in this article the author says that ship owners, they are not interesting for making the ship, and other side the author says that government should give this type of facilities where they can get the benefits, they can think big, and it may be that the governments will give some step by step, so we can give the better 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 performance in the shipyards. In the last, there is the green ship and other some of the good policies at like state owner policies, and if states provide some coal, some we can say the import some instruments, so then they can get the benefits also. So this is all about shipyards and the announced package for the shipyards and condition of the shipyards in our India. So that's all about from my side. Thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah, I really appreciate your input. And yeah, your reading is a good and summarize is also good. So thank you for taking part. Okay, so so is there anyone who would like to discuss key point from this article? Okay, so let's go ahead with the next one. So next is a JM. JM, are you there?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So which article you want to read?
Okay, ma'am. I am reading Article 7.
7. Wait, I will check. Carry on.
Okay, ma'am. Supreme Court warns MP CBI of contempt for failure to arrest two cops in custodial death case, with both the CBI and the Madhya Pradesh government failing to nab two officers after state police wanted in connection with a custodial death case. The Supreme Court Friday fixed October 7 as the deadline for their arrest, failing which it warned of contempt charges against delinquent officers. A bench of judges P.V. Nagendra and M. Magadevan directed that in case the accused officers are not arrested by date, the MP, the Madhya Pradesh Additional Chief Secretary Om and the investigation officer of the CBI must be present in court on October 8 to face contempt procedures. The bench was hearing a contempt plea by the skin after deceased Deva Pradeep, 26, who was denied along with his uncle Gangaram Pradeep in July 2024 and allegedly tortured leading to his death. There is no progress in the implementation of the direction of this court issued in March to May 15, 2025. In view of the ensuing vacation, we direct that the response ensure the compliance of the directions of this court and file an affidavit of compliance on or before October 7, 2025. Serve a copy on the council for the petitioner. The court started. The top court is on recess next week on account of Dasara. In the case there is compliance, the petitioners council may mention the same so that the matter could be listed on October 8, 2025. The event there is no compliance of the said. Direction 10 on October 8, 2025. Respondent number 1 Additional Chief Secretary and Respondent N3 CBI Investigation Officers shall be present in the court is said. The court also asked the state government and the MP Madhya Pradesh DGP to provide all relevant information to the CBI for taking steps to comply with its direction. Advocate POC Rai, appearing for petitioners, said the investigations are buying enough time to put pressure on the eyewitness so that he release. Every time we come before this court, the eyewitness has been threatened and beaten up in custody. She said. Such as Magadevan told the CBI council, we will also ask you to put in writing by affidavit that you are incapable or helpless to arrest the officers. As the CBI council sought to justify the agency position, Justice Nagaratna said, your submission failed to impress us. She also asked the court to consider terminating the two accused from service. Why don't you terminate them? 10. They will surface. Terminate both of them. They have not attended office since April. She told his State's Council. Justice Magadevan said that the accused officers were also violating the orders of Supreme Court. We will give you one more opportunity. By October 7, you file an affidavit before this court, saying that you have arrested. Severe it on the counsel for the petitioner, he said, adding that if the current officers fail in their duty, we will observe against them also in our order. I have done Aigal. This article tells us Supreme Court warned on Madhya Pradesh and CBI of contempt for failure of custodial debt. This news is important because many person in custodial debt in India increasing, and this case starting on previous year July 26 in Divyabadi detained along with custodial debt. This case carrying on Supreme Court May 15, 2025 in review. This case Supreme Court contemplate custodial debt very bad situation, and this court this case will be hearing on October 7 file on Supreme Court. Yeah, I got done, man.
Thank you, Sam, for taking part. Nicely reading and summarizes are also good. So thank you. Anyone would like to support from this article?
Yeah, I would love to summarize, but before that, JM, only one advice or one feedback. The summary point is like you can work upon that. You already did well. So just work upon the summary part. You don't have to be just stick to the article itself. Anything you just wanted to, so that it will be bring more understanding in the article. So in the headline itself, whatsoever you're able to understand from, that was also can be summarized by that. Yeah, but apart from that, the main issue regarding this article is that the failure of the Madhya Pradesh government and the CBI to arrest the two police officers who are accused. I will repeat that who are accused. They are not convicted. They are accused in a custodial death case, and despite the repeated Honorable Supreme Court direction, they are unable to arrest the said individual. They are the officer of the state police authority. So this article is revolved around the right to life and dignity, as we can see with custodial death is a sheer violation of the right to life and dignity. And that's why, as mentioned by the GM sir itself, that the Honorable Court are mentioning or warning the official, the MP, DGP, or some other official of the CBI investigating officer, that otherwise we will initiate the contempt proceeding, which is enshrined in the Article 129, I think, in the Indian Constitution of India. So that's why the essence of this article is that the custodial death, which is directly infringing the people right to life and liberty. No doubt that they are no more in the present current, but still, it will create a bad precedent that the upcoming future officer will not be have a any kind of cautious step. So that's why it is important that the investigating proceedings be held as soon as possible, and there has to be a proper and then know what is the actual matter before the Honorable Supreme Court. But yeah, as mentioned by the different counsels, that it's some saying that investigators is buying time to pressurize the witnesses. There are some tactics being played by the counsel also, like time and again, and that is also that they saying that it will lead to the people, specifically the witnesses, to be turned hostile. So that's why it is important to do the investigation as soon as possible, so that there will be not a depreciation of any other kind of appraising facts or evidences relating to that case. The Honorable Supreme Court has time and again mentioned about the various guidelines. I think the DK Basu State of West Bengal also clarified about the arrest proceeding to be held in what manner. So you don't have to just that if some person is an officer, have to treat differently. If he is accused, so treating him like that. It is immaterial of whether he is holding any pivotal position prior to the said crime. So yeah, that's the main crux of the article. Thank you.
I'm audible.
Yeah, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for summarize this article. It's very important. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Siddhi, I have a doubt regarding the today's session. What actually happened in the queue? I put my name and I'm in the second, and like
Yeah, sir.
suddenly I'm not in the
Also,
list itself.
I don't know who to delete because I add my name is the first, but I check it. So my name is not. I don't know, sir. So tell me which article you want to read, sir. So you
No,
can
no,
read.
no. I completed. Like if the sessions is over, it's not the big issue. But I'm just saying that I think it's Ishan who did this thing.
Yes, I thought Sisan. Yes, sir. If you want to read, so sir, you can read. Tell me article number, then you can read, sir.
I don't know. Like I think today's only 10 article and people already read all the article, as far as I'm
No,
able to
sir.
see.
Only
Which article
article.
is left?
I will check, sir. Sir, you can read Article 7 is also left and 6 also I think left.
No, no, Article 7 is just completed by Jim.
Oh, sir. 9? 9 is not complete.
9. Okay. Got it. So it's the last article or any other article? Am I audible? Hello.
Sir.
Siddhi, am I audible?
Sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. So, first of all, a very good morning to all of you. My article editorial number is 9, Losing the Sight. Sorry for that. The predicament of the Delhi's Institute for the Blind indicates how the disability rights falter in the face of institutional neglect. The eminent closure of the Delhi's Institute for the Blind, one of the country's oldest blind schools founded in Lahore in 1939, and relocated to Delhi after the partition, tells a larger story of the institutional neglect and a bureaucratic abdiction. For over 7 decades, the school has provided the education, accommodation, and community to visually impaired children from economically precarious families from states such as Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Now, the institution, with its 115 students, faces the threat of closure in the absence of government-issued certificate of the recognition denied due to the missing land documents dating back to the partition. While the Directorate of the Education has claimed the school failed to act on the official notices, the administration alleges a lack of meaningful engagement from the authorities, including the National Human Rights Commission (NHRC), which had previously raised the alarm over the infrastructural deficiency and safety lapses, including the POXO-related incident. What is unfolding in Delhi is not an isolated failure, but a broader pattern of indifference toward the rights and needs of the person with disability. The NFHS 5 pegs the percentage of people with some form of disability, including the partial or complete blindness, at 4.5% of the period between 2019 and 21. Despite a slew of progressive legislation and fund allocation, the 2025 union budget allocated rupees 1275 crore for disability welfare. The implementation of the grounds remains uneven and performative. The Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 promises the inclusion, accessibility, and equal opportunity. In a practice, however, the resources remain erratically distributed. Data shows that in 23 to 24, 93% of budget allocation remain unused, and the countless schools for the visually impaired operate without the formal recognition. The scheme for the implementation of the PWD Act, SIPDA, which funds the accessibility projects, has seen its allocation progressively slashed. Despite the 2024 Supreme Court judgment mandating the improved access in public spaces, this shortcoming converges in the local and immediate crisis faced by the institution, such as Institute for the Blind. The Delhi institution crisis demand the urgent attention. The closure order should be stayed and the provisional recognition granted. Land issue resolved without appending the student claim, but the state response must extend beyond the reactive fixes. Disability should be treated as a core governance priority, requiring the sustained investment, transparent oversight, enforceable obligation, and institutional accountability. The schools for the visually impaired, including the institution, should be periodically audited for the legal compliance, infrastructure, and safety. The inclusion is the constitutional guarantee, and allowing the systemic inertia to undermine that promise amount to an abandonment of some of the state's most vulnerable citizens. Yeah, so I'm done with this article. So this whole article is revolving around the imminent closure of Delhi Institute for the Blind due to the lack of the government-issued certificate or the recognition, as it is lacking the recognition from the certificate or the government machinery. Time and again, the Directorate of the Education also claimed that school had failed to comply with the requisite requirement. That NHRC has also raised the alarm that there are certain other lacuna in that, and they're not following the proper due and rules and regulations. And also there are safety lapses and the POXO related incident. So POXO basically means there's a special act enacted in 2012 that the protection of children from the sexual offenses, any the kind of sexual offense of any other nature, either penetration, manipulation, insertion, or by applying any mouth. So that, and even a sexual harassment will amount to a case of POXO if a crime has been committed with a child below the age of 18 years, irrespective of the male or female. That's why it is important that how the person, specifically we are talking about the blind or visually impaired persons who are partially or fully are not able to see properly. That's why the case is so much important that they are left it between apart, so they don't have the any other institute, and the blind institute are unable to get the proper recognition. So that's what the author is also talking about. No doubt that they are failed to comply with the legal compliance or infrastructure rules, norms, and regulation, and also the safety. So apart from that, rather than just making it totally unbanned from the proper recognized school, let it be for the remaining years, so that the people or the children who are already enrolled in that school, they completed their academic calendar of that year, so that there will be not a distress to their career opportunity, and it will create or again the right to equality and also their right to life with dignity will got infringed. There are a lot of students which have like able to acquire the education like they continue their education from that institute and able to like pass the 10th standard, they can able to enroll in the next academic year, so that there will be a balancing of interest between the societal interest and the individualistic students' interest also. So that's why it is important. And in the last itself, I praise and I love how the author just wanted to praise here that the ultimate purpose of the art also is the inclusion. We don't have to just disincline the person who are not actually fit according to societal norms, but they are also the equally entitled to be included in the society or have the accessibility of the resources and have the equal opportunity of the resources available in the government fund or machinery. As we can see that author also raising alarm that 1275 crores are being allocated and 90% of funds are being not even used by any of the authorities. So there are a lot of administrative lacuna in that particular thing. But apart from all the thing, the main principle and the last line, the main moral, the concept of morality should always prevail over any other kind of administrative lacuna. So that's why the inclusion of the said community or the vulnerable group should be decided to prevail over any other thing. So that's why I think they had to be the state government partially just allow for that academic year, so that will not just harm their own personal interest. So yeah, that's the main crux of the article. So yeah, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for taking part. Thank you so much, sir. I have no feedback for you, sir. Okay, so anyone would like to some point from this article? Okay, so no one is. Okay, so now today is the last participant. Is Hatmal. Am right pronunciation?
Yeah.
Next time, try to add now a name as website. Approx 6 to 7. Okay.
Sorry, I did not get you. What?
Okay. So, which article you want to read?
8th.
8. Okay.
Should I start?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking
Yeah,
about.
sir. Carry on.
Yeah, so the article is written by Ramnath Goenka from the Indian Express. The article's topic is Cut It Out. One man show at CBFC demand for arbitrary cuts certain Indian cinema just as it is global reach and resonance. A body meant to function as a collegial institution has been reduced to a one-man show with no official appointments since 2017. No meetings since 2019, long delays in certification and demands for arbitrary cuts. As reported in this newspaper, all is not well as the Central Board of Film Certification (CBFC). What should have been a panel of voices and perspective appears to have become a personal fiefdom, with the result that the CBFC may no longer have the autonomy and diversity of views required for credible functioning. Instead, authority seems to have been centralized by lyricist Prasoon Joshi, who was appointed chairperson of the 12-person body in August 2017, with many within the CBFC questioning the super censorship Raj, run by a handful of functionaries selected by the chairperson. Exacerbating the situation is the question mark hanging over the legal status of the present board. Its tenure was to have ended in 2020 and repeated instances of overreach into censorship. Homebound, India's official selection for the Academy Awards this year, and which won a People's Choice Award at the Toronto International Film Festival earlier this month, was reportedly destroyed in parts by the CBFC, which asked for several caste references to be cut out. Films in India have long had to contend with a scissor-sharp CBFC, which is tasked with certifying films for release. But what makes the current state of affairs worse is the limited scope for redressal. Until 2021, filmmakers could appeal to the Film Certification Appellate Tribunal (FCAT) in case they disagreed with the certificate issued by the CBFC, or it was denied altogether. This was how, for example, the 2016 film Lipstick Under My Burqa, which had been denied certification by the CBFC over being lady-oriented, finally made it to the theatres with an A certificate. Since the abolition of FCAT in 2021, however, filmmakers without the resources to approach a high court, now the only forum for redressal, have had little choice, as the case of several recent films like Dhadak 2, The Bengal Files, and Janki V versus State of Kerala shows. They can neither comply with the CBFC's demand for arbitrary cuts or indefinitely delay the release of films, as happened to Haneet Rehan's film on the life of activist Jaswant Singh Khalra. Institutions matter because they embody processes larger than individuals. They are meant to outlast chairs, governments, and fashions. The diminishing of the CBFC and the capriciousness with which it functions harm Indian cinema at a time when its cultural resonance and global reach have never been greater. From international festivals to streaming platforms, Indian films are a crucial element of the country's soft power, as seen when India was chosen as the country of honor at the March du Cinema at the 2022 Cannes Film Festival. When a film's artistic vision is scrubbed and sanitized, it has a chilling effect. And if filmmakers find themselves second-guessing their scripts, trimming their creative choices, or shelving bold ideas for fear of an arbitrary cut or ban, the loss is not merely theirs. Yeah, so the article has ended. Let me summarize it. So the article talks about how the CBFC is chopping down movies, cutting down parts of the movies because like the board appointed by the CBFC president Prasoon Joshi doesn't agree with some of the parts of the movies. So this came into focus recently when the India's official Oscar nomination movie Homebound, which shows many instances of caste discrimination, was asked to cut, I think, 11 parts of it. And after that, only it got released in India, whereas it received a standing ovation and in the Toronto Film Festival. So, yeah, this board created by Prasoon Joshi, the chairman, was supposed to end in 2020 itself, but till now it is still governing and cutting down parts of the movies. So because of this cutting and chopping of the movie parts, it leads to filmmakers second guessing their scripts and trimming their creative choices, thinking of that they might face arbitrary cut or ban and it may affect their movies. Yeah, so yeah, that's the basic crux of the article. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking part. That was a reading is a good and yeah, summarize is also good because all points highlighted from this article, so that's good. Yeah, and anyone at some point from this article? Yeah, no one is. Okay, so now I will conclude this session. So thank you everyone for joining this session. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.